Hello 108 students, Mr. McHugh here with you. Welcome back to number 13 of our whiteboard video series, and we are going to talk about a concept I named the Texas Longhorn Flop. Okay, so where this is coming from is from section 7.1, page 2 of your class notes, example 3A. And during the talking class note videos, I explained how to use this Texas Longhorn Flop to handle a situation where you've got two rational expressions, m minus 3 divided by 3 minus m. Notice you've got two terms up in the numerator, two in the denominator, and there's some similarities between them. Okay, now, before I show you the shortcut, I want to go through and explain how and why you're going to be able to go from this expression down to saying it's equivalent to -1. Okay, now, if I don't come up with this shortcut here, you're going to have to go through these steps here and memorize it, and it's kind of silly. So what I'm hoping for is with a name, right now you're curious as to where it came from, unless you've heard the video me talking about it. I'm going to explain mathematically how you derive from here, this rational expression, down to -1. Okay, let me come over here to the other side. Let's go ahead and walk through the steps here. Now, here's what's going on. Up in the numerator, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to put parentheses just to show that it's a factor, and I'm not going to touch it the whole way across. What's going to happen down here in the denominator is 3 minus m. I'm going to choose to pull out a greatest common factor of -1. Okay? Now to pull out a -1, you have to have equivalency. So -1 times what produces a positive 3? And the answer is -3. So -1 times -3 produces positive 3. -1 times m produces a -m. Okay, so I want you to see there's equivalency there. Now you might be asking, why am I doing that? And sorry, I'm bouncing around here. And the answer is we're going to arrange and rig this up. So now the next question is, okay, so you did that, I don't see anything. Then what we're going to take advantage of is the commutative property of addition allows you to change the order that you add things. 3 plus 2 is the same as 2 plus 3. Here's our plus sign. So instead of saying -3 plus m, I'm going to come over and swap it and say m minus 3. This is the big moment here. Okay. Once you've grasped that and say that's okay to do, then something interesting happens. Here's this -1. It's fine. However, look up in the numerator. The factor m minus 3 is stacked on top of m minus 3. You have it in the numerator and the denominator. Therefore, any factors divided by itself, any like terms divided by itself, always equals, class, 1. Okay. And so now that you know that that's 1, you can cancel them out, and you're left with -1 is the only thing remaining item. Therefore, you've just proven to yourself that you can take this rational expression and say it's -1. Okay, now, Texas Longhorn Flop. Let's discuss how you can use this. So I made this video because I want you to watch my hands. So this represents from the University of Texas Longhorns. Sorry. Let's come over here a little bit. Texas Longhorn football. The fans go into a 100,000 seat stadium down in Austin, Texas. My grandson happens to live down there. And they say, hook 'em horns, if you're watching football games. Okay, now, I had a student in my first class in fall of 2009 when I was teaching this in my 025s, and it dawned on me. I was looking at his hat. He had a Texas Longhorn hat on. They've got the long horns on the hat, and it dawned on me with the hook 'em horns that you could use this to see the pattern recognition. So here we go. What you do is you recognize you've got two terms, one on your index, one on your pinky. Your knuckles represent subtraction. Line them up on the numerator. Now, you must have subtraction. That's a key point. And you must have subtraction down in the denominator. Okay, if you have that, the flop is this. The Texas Longhorn Flop is if you have m minus 3, if you pick up your hand away from the board, flip it this way, and drop it back down, you match the pattern. Okay, does everybody see? Let me do it one more time. M minus 3, doesn't matter, two terms. If you put one on your index, one on your pinky, and you have subtraction sign. If you can pick it up, flop it, drop it down, and they match, then you have the Texas Longhorn Flop, and you can go straight to immediately replacing it with -1. Another way I mentioned this in class is, if you notice, let me use another color here. I'll try green. If you notice, you've got subtraction in both, and on the diagonals you have the same term. If the diagonals are equal, look at the 3. Now you're not cross multiplying, you're just noticing the diagonals. If the 3 and the 3 are on this diagonal, one's called the mean, one's called the extreme, by the way. I never can remember which way it goes. And you have the other term is on the other diagonals. You have subtraction. Then you also have the Texas Longhorn flop, and you've converted to -1. Okay, so I think that's basically the concept here for us. Just want to take a couple minutes to explain it to you. So I wish you well. When I see you for whiteboard number 13 video, I'm going to explain what the Texas side flop is here, and you'll see those details coming up. Okay, hope you're doing good there. Keep working hard. I'll catch you later. Bye.